there, this is Joe from SquareXO, and this is SquareXO episode 74. I'm joined by Lloyd.
Hello.
And Rebecca.
Hello.
We're going to try and mix it up some days. We might have other people on the podcast too. Nicole has not been here for a while, but we might get some of our other contributors in sometimes as well if we're a bit short. I mean, we go with 3. If we've got 3, fine. If there's only 2 of us, then chances are we might have a new face if there's some weeks. Just to try and keep it to 3. We're fine with 2 as well, though. 2's good. As long as it's not 1.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry, a podcast is a monologue.
Yeah, 1's probably. I've tried it on my own before, SquareXO Live, where I've done it just myself, but I was just chatting to the users and stuff. That was quite funny. But it was okay, but I prefer to have somebody to talk to, obviously. Okay, before we start, don't forget to follow us at squarexo.co.uk, twitter.com/square_XO, and back us on patreon.com/squarexo, where you get a nice mug. If you go to that level, you still can't see it above my head. Badges, I think there's a t-shirt as well, maybe at some levels. There's other things like discount from Monster Shop and insert coin teas. And the dogs are barking outside and it's really doing my head in. What else? There's other benefits too. The SquareXO lottery, that's right. Once a month, you get entered for a £10 PSN credit, and you might win that. And the SquareXO Extra, which is our monthly Patreon-only extra episode. So that's quite a lot to talk about. We've got a few competitions running. We just literally gave away 5 copies of Warhammer. We've announced the winner of those now. We've also got our SQXO competition, which I'm just bringing up on the screen now. And there's great prizes this month. You can win a copy of PS-Phwoar Spider-Man, courtesy of monstershop.co.uk. Thank you for providing that prize and sponsoring this competition. We've also got a Crash Bandicoot Hat to give away, courtesy of Numskull. And the mystery prize, which you may have noticed on Twitter, is actually a canvas print of the winning screenshot, and it looks really cool. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing prizes for SQXO September this month. So all you need to do, as it says on the screen, or if you're listening, is to tag your hashtag PS4 share screens with the hashtag SQXOset for a chance to win these amazing prizes. So yeah, do that because they are really good prizes. Actually, I think I'm impressed with them this month. Okay, so thanks for our sponsor, Monster Shop, once again for providing a copy of Spider-Man for the winner. Okay, and we're going to get on with gaming news now, and there's quite a bit of gaming news this week actually, because Sony had its I can't remember what it's called, tour with PlayStation or something like that this morning, which is part of TGS, Tokyo Game Show. So a few games were announced. The first one I've got down here is Project Judge, which was announced by Sega. I swear it said it was called Judge Eyes, but it looks, I said on Twitter, it looks a bit like Yakuza, which is interesting because it's by the Yakuza team. Someone said it gave them vibes of Yakuza crossed with Ace Attorney.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which could be quite interesting. So yeah, but apparently it's a detective who solves mysteries, and it's coming to Europe in 2019 and Japan later this year. But there's also a demo, but I don't know if that demo is coming to Europe or not. That wasn't clear. So that was one of the games. Kingdom Hearts VR. It's going to get Kingdom Hearts getting a good old VR experience, so that'll be interesting as well. I don't really know much about that. Wait, I just need to get this iPad to stop beeping. Why is it always
popular?
beeping? The volume's down and it's just beeping and beeping. It's annoying when it does that, isn't it? Right, there we go. That's that sorted. Also, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition. Geez, that was a mouthful. Announced for PS4. So that was another announcement. Another Final Fantasy. Woo! And there was Project Awakening for PS4, which looks a bit like Monster Hunter. It's quite a sort of high profile. It looked like pure. I mean, we only saw a sort of CGI graphics trailer, but it looked quite good from what they showed you. It looked like that could be one to keep an eye on. So yeah, that could be interesting. A few more games. Caravan Stories is coming to PS4. I don't know what that is. Samurai Spirits also announced for PS4. Again, I didn't go too much into this. And Everybody's Golf announced for VR. Oh, yes.
You're happy about
I
that?
love Everybody's Golf. Really excited. I really like Everybody's Golf. So, I'm looking forward to that one. Right, other news away from the Japanese announcement stuff. Fortnite has added a capture the flag style mode called Getaway. So that's exciting for those of us who love Fortnite. None of us love Fortnite, do we?
I don't know. I don't think any of us play Fortnite.
I play a
do
bit
we?
of Fortnite, but not
There we go.
massively anymore.
There you go, right. Right's happy. Also, Rocksteady has been teasing its highly anticipated AAA title for next-gen consoles. The way it's been teasing it is by announcing some jobs and looking for people to join the studio. And the contracts are all about 2 years long, which could give you an idea that maybe we'll be seeing the new game in 2 years' time, 2 to 3 years' time. So maybe they're going to announce it soon. And it usually, I think, didn't they announce a game once at the one at the end of the year? What's it called? The Game Awards. I think Rocksteady announced the Game Awards, so maybe we'll see it there again. Who knows? We'll find out. Hopefully I wonder what it could be. What do you think it could be? I don't think it'll be another Batman. Maybe a Justice League or something.
Something DC Comics would be great. I mean, Arkham Knight was 2015, wasn't it? That came out, so it's been a minute since they've dropped anything. I was supposed they had the Arkham VR thing, but I'd like to see something else in the DC universe, definitely.
Yeah, it'd be quite interesting. Right, where are we? Okay, review score time. Tomb Raider's review scores. This is kind of like breaking news almost because they just came out about an hour ago or something.
Yeah.
The review scores come out. They're sort of averaging on middle-ish, 77 average on Metacritic. Some scores down about 2 out of 5. I think that was a Guardian or something. I think it's Guardian 2 out of 5. But I think GameSpot give it 6 out of 10. But IGN give it 9 out of 10.
Yeah, really?
And Eurogamer don't seem to like it. They don't score games, but they said something like time for a deboot, which kind of makes you think, go back to basics. Because it's, and I've noticed some tweets just showing that the animation isn't the greatest. There was this particular one I saw where I was talking to someone and she was laughing, but her lips weren't moving, so she just gone and it's no, that just gets wrong. So it looks like it's got a few issues in terms of animations and stuff like that. So that's a bit of a shame. On to better news. Here's a little quiz for you. What is the fastest selling game of the year in the UK? The fastest selling Marvel branded game in history, and the fastest selling individual format game since the PS4 version of World War II, Call of Duty World War II. What could that be?
I wonder.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is rocking it. It's selling a barrelload, and that's just at retail. That doesn't even include, it's broke all those records just at retail. That doesn't include digital. And obviously that means it's number 1 in this week's charts. By a mile, I would think. Number 2 is Dragon Quest, which we don't have, do we? We're not reviewing that one, are we?
Dragon Quest. So.
No, I don't think we could get a copy of that. We're reviewing practically everything, but not that one. Grand Theft Auto is number 3. How does it do it? It's just crazy. Number 3.
It's getting better
there's got to be more
every
copies
week.
of Grand Theft Auto 5 now than there are
number
people
1
on the
again soon, won't it? It'll get knocked off its perch when Red Dead Redemption comes out. F1 is number 4. Crash Bandicoot Trilogy number 5. PES number 6. Mario Kart number 7. Destiny 2 Forsaken number 8. PlayerUnknown Battleground number 9. And Lego The Incredibles is number 10. And that's kind of gaming news. Where do you think next week, let's do a quick prediction of next week, where do you think Tomb Raider will end up? Do you think it will beat Spider-Man? Do you think Spider-Man will get knocked down to number 2, considering Tomb Raider is a multi-format title, or do you think the momentum for Spider-Man will keep it at number 1?
I think maybe the reviews for Tomb Raider might getting to number 1. I can see it getting to like 2, 3, or 4. I think Spider-Man's just sort of on a roll, and more people are getting it every day. So I imagine that. Excuse my voice, by the way, I'm going a bit hoarse. I imagine that it will get up high in the charts. I'd like to hope it beats Grand Theft Auto. I think it deserves that. But I still think Spider-Man will be top next week.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see one. Anyway, so that's gaming news. So it's time to move on to a topic now, which Rebecca's going to introduce. But
yeah. Joe sort of shoehorned this topic because he wrote an opinion piece about it, but we're going to talk about which PlayStation out of all of them we think is the best. I'll go really quickly first with mine because I was introduced to the PlayStation on the PlayStation 4, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. That's the only platform I've ever played anything on. I've obviously, played on my friend's PS3, and I've heard how good the PS1 and PS2 were, but in terms of what I have to compare it to, it has to be the PS4 for me. I think the exclusives are amazing. I think that it's got really great selection of narrative strong games, and then it's still got the really strong sports games to add a nice parallel to it. But for me, obviously Bloodborne's on there, so PS4 is my favourite. Yeah, that's easy, nice and simple. I mean, when you've only played one of them, it is easy like that. But yeah, we were just going to have a discussion what our favourite one was, the memories tied to it, and then we've got lots and lots of user thoughts. So do you two want to say your piece?
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually. The user thoughts. We did do the poll, and how many votes did the poll have? What, 400 and?
Yeah, it's 300 to 400, I think.
Wasn't it? 531 votes.
531.
46% voted for PlayStation 4, 37% for PlayStation 2, 9% for PS1, and 8% for PS3. So it's quite close PS1, PS3, and it's quite close PS2 and PS4. I think I'd kind of agree with that poll the way it's come out. But,
yeah.
But yeah, it's quite interesting. Like you say, some of the thoughts. I wrote the article because on the website, the article this poll refers to, which was basically just saying that PS4 is the best PlayStation. The reason I wrote it in half an hour in the gym, to be honest, it wasn't a well planned article. I was just sitting there and I thought, yes, I know what I'll do. But the reason I think that is just because already the console's 5 years old, and we just think of the sort of epic games we've had already, like Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit, Uncharted 4. What's the other one? There's one missing. There's the Lost Legacy as well, and I swear there's one I'm missing as well. I just can't remember what it is. But I mean, I just think already the amount of games we've had that just so epic. I just can't remember so many games in such a short space of time.
Yeah.
And then but it's not just the games, it's things like how the console's just completely built with gamers in mind. It's kind of like the PS4 is almost what the PS3 could have been if the sort of ideas and technology had caught up, I think. So just got things like the share button. I love the share button. I think that's a brilliant feature. And
yeah, I've seen your Twitter, Joe. I can tell you love the square button, the share button.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously Sony's come up with that idea. No one else sort of had it. It was Sony's idea. Nintendo's copied it now, even though people say it's always Sony who copied Nintendo. Nintendo copied that feature from Sony. Microsoft's copied it because it's a brilliant feature, but it just works best on PS4 than it does on any other console. You just push it once. You've done it. It's on Twitter. Love that feature. It's brilliant. Oops, hold on, dropped the play pad. So yeah, there's that. There's the online, which finally works. I know Sony's kind of got others to credit for that, like Xbox Live, which I would do in my article. But everything just works. There's no hassle. Yeah, remember the PS3 store and how bad it was? It was a browser.
Yeah, it was so slow as well, wasn't it?
It was just awful. So, I mean, I just love the way now you just push the button. It's there. It all works. And it seems to get better and better. And it's only 5 years old. We've had all these amazing AAA games. And then I'm sure Rebecca will wax lyrical about the digital games. and all the little indies that I know
love
we
the indies.
sort of that kind of started on PS3, but I mean, I think they've been more and more. They've been certainly better on the PS4. There's been more sort of epic. I mean, there's another game I remember, Bloodborne, obviously.
I know, I was looking at you PS4. And I was like, Joe, are you trying to wind me up, or have you genuinely forgotten?
But I mean, even the remasters got, I mean, because I played Darksiders in PS3, but on PS4 it's better. The way they've remastered it is brilliant. And obviously Shadow Cost, there's so many, they could just keep talking about all the epic titles. And I mean, I love my PS2. I thought it was a great console for sheer amount of games and sheer amount of experiences. And I love my PS2. I thought it was brilliant. So I mean, it's a very close thing for me between PS2 and PS4. But I just think
with
PS4
me, it's got to be PS4, because the highest compliment I can give it is I just wish every other console worked like the PS4 does. As you say, Joe, it's easy to share. It's it just works. And I also have a PS3 in like the other room that I use mainly for just watching movies. And it's only when you turn on the PS3 you realise how far we've come, and constantly needing to rebuild the hard drive and that kind of thing, and just the amount of slow store pages and that kind of thing. And PS3 had some incredible exclusives, obviously things like Last of Us and the Uncharted trilogy. But there was that, I can't remember what year it was now. There was a year where Sony pretty much had an exclusive for the PS3 every month of the year. And then when you look at that, and the quality of them was good, not great, now compared to the exclusives we have on PS4, such as Bloodborne, God of War, Spider-Man, and all those kind of things, plus the third-party lineup where they're getting exclusive deals with things like Activision for Destiny and Call of Duty, and as Rebecca said, like the sports games. It is really, if you want a huge variety of games, then the best place to play is PlayStation, and it's just mind blowing, really. I mean, even exclusives that you guys haven't mentioned, like Persona 5, is one of my favorite games of this generation. Just incredible, and it's on PS3 as well. But
I think one of my favourite in games that's on, where is it? Oh yeah, this is an exclusive, isn't it? Last Guardian. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's a really small under the cover game. I think because of its 10 years of development, people sort of ignored it, but that's an amazing game, and that's only on PlayStation. Yeah. I just think Sony just seem to be so good at like picking developers who make great exclusives for them. I don't know what the trick is, but Naughty Dog are incredible developers, and then like you said, you've got developers who do stuff exclusively for PlayStation, like Bloodborne, and then all the indie titles as well. I just think it's got a bit of everything. Yeah. And I was also just saying that in a way, you'd kind of hope the PS4 was the best, just because obviously it's the newest, and you'd like to hope that the PS5 will build on what the PS4 started, and that will slowly get better and better. But I do think it sort of has outshone itself with the expectations, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's definitely very well-rounded in terms of, sharing, playing, what's to play, how easy it is to show off what you're playing. I think that it's pretty much perfect, really.
And it's got so much choice, not just in terms of the games, but also your setup as well. If you want to get the VR, you can, but you don't feel like everyone else is moving on without you. If you want the PlayStation 4 Pro, you can, but you don't feel like you have to pay that premium, because games look great still on the base launch PlayStation 4 as well. So. And then things like PlayStation Plus, the online infrastructure has improved massively since PS3, and even since the early days of the PS4. Really, everything just seems to be a little bit snappier in the store and that kind of thing. And as Joe said, it's constantly being iterated on, which is fantastic news for us, because it just means it just gets easier and easier to find the things that you want to play, and there are so many things to play.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, it's 5 years old. I mean, before, most of our consoles would last 10 years, and the PS4 is definitely going to last 10 years, where there'll probably most likely be a new one in a couple of years' time. But I mean, PS4 will keep going for at least 10 years, I reckon, and I can always see it getting better and better. Like I said in my article, I mean, I was quite tempted to call the article PS4 the greatest console ever, but then I thought, nah, fanboy alert if I do that. No, PS4 the greatest PlayStation ever, I called it. Not the greatest console ever. I couldn't be bored with the Fallout for that one. But no, just thought I'd call it greatest PlayStation ever, because I think it is. I want to give shout out PS3 as well, though, because I think that's a great console. I know a lot of people down on it. It didn't have the greatest start to life and stuff. But, I mean, if you think from year 5 onwards, when you're getting The Last of Us and Uncharted, all those games that came out, and that Heavy Rain was another one that came out in it. I mean, there was absolutely classic games on the PS3. I mean, it was a pretty good console, and it got better. It's another one that got better and better. I mean, The Last of Us was just stunning, wasn't it? One of the greatest games ever. And it came out in the PS3, so I think it's fair to say the PS3 gets a bit of a hard time, but I do think it's a pretty decent console. But yeah, they all are, actually. PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, they're all amazing. PS5, I can't wait to see what that does, but I don't really feel like I'm ready for it yet. I still feel like PS4's got so much more to give, and it has. Days Gone, I mean, the Ghosts of...
Can't wait for Days Gone.
What is it? Ghosts of
Tsushima.
Ghosts
Have
of...
you murdered that?
I forgot the name of it. Ghosts of Tsushima. You've still got that weird looking one from Kojima, Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
There's still so much more to come. Darksiders free, of course. There's so much to come, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we get. Shall we talk about what some of our users think, Rebecca?
Yeah, go for it. Do you want me to... There's a lot, so I don't know if I'll be able to read.
Yeah, we don't need to read through them all, but we'll just pick out a few at random.
So we've got someone whose Twitter tag is Colonel W.E. Kurtz, and he put, PS3 is the best console, sorry, just because it was expensive at launch, people hate on it. It was one of the best Blu-ray players to come on the market. It toasted bold new architecture, a very viable console even a decade after its launch. So that's someone who likes the PS3. We've got Dan B saying PS4 is a fantastic console with a phenomenal library, but the PS2 is and always will be the greatest console of all time. Stell said, oh, it's the PS2, that's my favourite. Thomas, though, who used to write for us, who does write for us, he had a break for it. I think he's back now. He put, totally agree, by mine it's the PS4. Chris Walsh has said, yeah, I've agreed since sometime last year, and this year has been totally incredible again, and we still have a ton of amazing games on the way in the next 6 months. So there's so many, there's literally so many, but seems to be most people saying that it's either the PS2 or the PS4 that's their favourite. Some are saying, you know, every generation has got beautiful games. I can't vote. I can't pick between them. So I think, to be fair, it's just like a general, people like the PlayStation, I think. It doesn't matter what iteration it is. But yeah, there's loads more. So if you want to read them for yourself, if you just go on the tweet and read the thread underneath there, and you can read them all.
Yeah, I mean, I love them all, to be fair. I love them all. So they're all brilliant. PlayStation's just amazing. PlayStation Appreciation Society. Yeah. It's amazing. But a shout out to Xbox and Nintendo a little bit as well, because without them, PlayStation wouldn't really be what it is. And I'm sure they wouldn't be what they are either without each other. So they kind of all need each other. Fanboy stuff aside, for those of the people out there who are going to fanboy us or whatever, we appreciate them all, because it just wouldn't be the same without any of them, really. Who knows what the consoles would look like without them. Okay, time to move on. I'm not going to talk about what we've been playing. We're going to talk about Spider-Man. So there we go. That's probably what we've been playing, to be fair. But we go a wee bit more. We'll talk a wee bit more in depth about it, because we don't normally do that, do we? Talk about games more in depth. We don't need mega in depth. We're not going to spoil anything, but we'll just give our thoughts and things like that. So yeah, Spider-Man. Who wants to start on Spider-Man?
I probably have the least to say. If you guys want to like go crazy and
you can talk about it first, Rebecca, because it's interesting to know what you think, considering you're that keen.
I am not interested in like the Spider-Man game in general. My brothers were going crazy at me, like buy it, you need to get it. So I got it for them, and they're obsessed with it. They've been on it non-stop, and I thought, I'll have a go, because it looks like it's a good game, and it's got completely overwhelming praise. So I had a go, and I think I got to the first boss. I won't say any more than that, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I have to admit, I enjoy how fluid it is. I like that it doesn't matter if you're swinging through the city and you miss a building. At least you're like sort of automatically something else. You don't just fall splat on the road. So I'm impressed with like how fluid it is, and it kind of maintains this really good speed as you're going through. And I like the combat, because the combat, I initially thought just by watching trailers and stuff would be complete button mashing, just like it looked, but you really have to think about your attacks, and you've got to keep an eye on your spidey sense that is around your head to see if you need to dodge something. There's certain enemies you need to slide underneath them and attack them from behind because they've got shields. So it's not just button mash, kill some enemies, go to the next area, button mash there. So I like that there's a little bit of thought behind it. Aside from that, it's just, I feel like people are going to hate me for this, but it's just not really my kind of game. I'll play it because it's in the house and I want to play it. It's something that I would play if I didn't have anything else to play, but I don't know, because I'm not really a fan of the superhero movies or Marvel. I don't really watch any of the films or anything in the comics, so it's not really my genre, but I can appreciate that it's a really good game, and when I do get my brothers off, I'll have a go. But I bought it for them. I didn't really buy it because and my colleagues were peer pressuring me into it, so I was like, fine, I'll get it. But I like what I've played, but I think because I'm not like a big fan of the DC Marvels and all that stuff, I don't know if it's something that I would have actively sought out to buy myself. Now that it's in the house and I've had a go and I'm like, oh, this is quite enjoyable, I'm enjoying it, but it's not something that I would have actively gone, I need to pre-order this, I need to get it on release day, I need to be there first in line, I want to play all weekend. So I think for me, it's going to be something that I just play when I haven't really got anything else to play, or maybe when I want a break from reviews and stuff. So yeah, I like it. And as someone who's not a fan of any of the previous games, not a fan of superhero games or movies, I think that they've done a good job reaching an audience like me, who normally wouldn't play something like that, yet still can have a go at it and think that's actually a really good game. They've done a great job there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it, really.
I think it's incredible, really. I mean, for me, it started off a little bit slow, I think, but it's exactly what I expected when, I played Insomniac's Sunset Overdrive, and also Sucker Punch Infamous, stuff like that, and Crackdown as well for Microsoft. So I was expecting that sort of game, and I'd say that's kind of the game I've got. So it's not really what I was, but it's better than all of those by a mile. It really is. It's an incredible game. The depth in it, the story for one is brilliant. I love the story. It's really good. And as you go on, I'd really say when you get about 50% complete, it really starts to kick off.
You've really got far.
Yeah, once you get there,
I got 1%.
I'm way past that now, but I'm just saying, when you get to about there, it really starts to kick off. It's got, whoa. Because you're following one story arc, and then all of a sudden it just goes whoosh, and just completely changes to a different story arc, and it's brilliant. It just surprises you all the time, and I love the depth of all the different suits, and the combat is really in depth. The further on you go into the game, the more in depth the combat becomes as well, and the different moves you'll get. And like you say, I love the way it's not just button mashing you do, and you think about it, and that becomes even more obvious later on. But when you get all your sort of special powers and stuff, and you can utilise them. But the combat reminds me of Batman in a way.
Yeah,
I think
it's
quite
very
similar.
Arkham. It's like a natural evolution of it, isn't it? It's whereas Arkham was very weighty and you felt like Batman because he was powerful, and then jumping up to the rafters. It feels more like it's been custom built for Spider-Man because he's so much quicker and agile, but it's definitely a lot of Arkham there. Yeah,
I totally agree. It's sort of Arkham but sped up a bit on fast forward sort of thing. But yeah, it's really good. So I enjoy that part. I love the looking for the backpacks as well. I've got all the backpacks now, all 55. I got my last.
I've got about 5
today.
left to get, I think.
I was searching everywhere for it, and I'm meant to go and I'll redact the back what I was going to say there about the story. I was meant to go do something else, but I thought, nah, I've got to find this backpack, and I went round, and it was typically the other end of the city, the one I had left way at the very end. It took me ages to find it, but I was really pleased. I was like, yes, got it.
It's the first open world game in ages where when something is half the map away, I'm quite happy about it because I get to travel from one end to the other.
Yeah, you can just
swinging
all about.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there's a trophy for using the subway a certain number of times to fast travel, and I literally did that just to get the trophy, and then was straight back to swinging across the city, because fast travel just takes all the fun out of it. When you can fly across the city, and then you can do tricks and
I forgot all about fast travel. I've only used it once.
You just been
exactly. But if you and then you've got that sort of slingshot you can do with both triggers, where you can pull yourself to a point, and if you hit X at the exact moment. And when I first started, I was sort of swinging around and sort of touching the floor every now and again, and then kind of jumping up, like really awkward, like almost like Spider-Man's first day. And then since playing a bit more, I'm projecting myself from one rooftop to the next, pretty much going half the city without touching the ground. And when I do touch the ground, it's because I'm flying down and landing on a bad guy and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
I think that's a good point, actually, that you make, that at the beginning you feel like you're just starting to become Spider-Man, and it's almost like you're
it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think because the web slinging system is quite realistic as well, in that the webs have to attach to something, it can take a little while to sort of process, okay, I can't grab anything from there. Like when you're in Central Park, you have to sort of pull yourself along from some of the lampposts in there rather than from the skyscrapers. So obviously you need to be lower down. But little things like that, it just and there's so many little details. I mean, they changed the voice track for Peter Parker / Spider-Man based on whether he's flying through the air or not. If you're on a rooftop, he has a completely different vocal take to if he's flying through the air, because he sounds more out of breath when he's swinging.
That's so clever.
There's little details like that. It's just absolutely insane. And then I won't go into any spoilers because I've not finished it myself yet. But just some of the set pieces, some of the like the bits that we saw in the E3 demo, they look just as good now as they did in that demo, and it still looks. Yes, there's quick time events, but it still looks and feels like something Spider-Man would do, and it's just so good to watch. And as Joe said, the story is just really clever. They've sort of made some nice twists on old Spider-Man characters that perhaps were a bit boring, and they've kind of changed their sort of origins a little bit. And I can't wait to find out more. To be honest with you, I'm just where Joe says it's just about to start ramping up. I think I'm at that point now. So I'll probably be playing that a bit more tonight.
It gets well ramped up. It's where I am. I'm almost done. I don't think I've got much to go. Because I can't even say what, because otherwise I'll spoil the story.
You guys need to do a spoiler thing that I do. Yeah. You need to start one.
It's really good, though. I really like it. If I had to have a criticism, it's probably when you're running along the floor and you're not swinging, it feels so slow. It feels like you're in tar or something.
Yeah, but I think that's probably the idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's to push you to jump and swing.
And sometimes, I mean, I'm not the greatest fan of some of the side missions, like where you just have to clean up the city, and they're all kind of the same, where you're basically having to beat up gangs or something, and each mission's a sort. So I don't really like the side missions that much.
The ones where you're chasing a car always make me feel like Spider-Man. And you've got, the car's going, and then the police cars are behind it, and you fly over the police cars, and then you just feel like you are a superhero.
And
there's all these little animation touches, like certain ways. Like sometimes you'll stop a car by getting in front of it and stopping it with his strength. Other times he'll sort of web it or web the drivers up and that kind of thing. And there's so many different little animation touches. And they're all just so fluid, aren't they? It's just and obviously the cutscenes change based on which suit you're wearing as well, and just little things like that. I find it incredible.
Yeah, there's so many suits, isn't there? The suits is incredible as well. There's so many different ones. I love the different moves, because obviously each time you unlock a suit, you get a different special ability, and then whatever suit you're wearing, you can choose to use any of the special abilities with that suit, which is quite cool. I think my favourite special ability is, I think it's called, I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one where you spin in the air and you web everybody.
The Web Blossom.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome. That's a
good one.
That's my favourite one. That's the one I've been using.
I quite like the electric punches one.
Yeah, I've probably not even looked at that because I like the other one too much. But yeah, I really like that. And everybody just gets attached to the wall. That's come in very handy for me. always do it near the ones who are trying to launch rockets at you so they don't blow me up.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well, is each enemy type, as I think Rebecca alluded to, each enemy type has their own way of being beaten, which is very Arkham. But I find the combat quite difficult at times when they throw quite a few at you. Certain situations in the story, you feel like you're fighting insurmountable odds, which makes you feel like Spider-Man. But then when you get shot, you don't feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah, no.
But it's challenging. I'm only playing on the medium difficulty, like normal difficulty, and even just a few of the street crimes, I've been killed trying to save people from that and that kind of thing. And so it definitely pushes back more than the Arkham games did. I think that's probably testament to the fact that Batman wears a lot of armor and Spider-Man doesn't. But there you go.
It's excellent. No, I'd say I wanted to say it's my favourite game of the year, probably, but I don't know because I can't split Detroit, God of War, and this. I think they're tying all three.
Yeah,
of
I
them.
couldn't split this or God of War. I really can't. I'm hoping that if the story progresses where I hope it's going to go, that it'll probably be Spider-Man. I think I've got an idea of where the story's going to go.
For our Game of the Year podcast
love
now.
Detroit. I love God of War and I love Spider-Man. I think every one of them is amazing. Although, actually, I'm not sure. I can't even remember. Did you review Detroit or did I?
We both reviewed it. I think we both gave it the same score. I did a physical review and you did a video review.
What about?
Yeah, I think we gave it the same score.
God of War, didn't I?
Yeah, I think I even played.
Yeah, you did God of War.
10. Did I give it a 10?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I gave Detroit a 10, did I?
I gave Detroit an 8. I think we both gave it 8.
An 8.
I don't know.
And Spider-Man, I'm giving a 9. So there we go. If it goes by scores, then God was my favourite. But I don't care about scores. I just care about what I feel about them at the time and how they make me feel. And they all make me kind of feel like, wow, PlayStation 4 is the best. That's what they make me feel like. It's an incredible game and something that thumbs up. Absolutely couldn't have done a better job with it, really. I don't think it's so good. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, that's what I think.
Very happy then.
Right, have you been playing anything else, Rebecca? That's Julie.
The only thing, I don't want to bring a damper on the mood. I've been playing Immortal Unchained for review for the Daily Star. I don't really like it. Came out the same day as Spider-Man, which I think probably doesn't help it very much because obviously everybody's going to be going to Spider-Man. It's basically a Souls-like RPG, so it's the same sort of feel as Bloodborne or Dark Souls, but it gets the formula all wrong. It's very bland. Your main form of weaponry is guns, but the aiming's atrocious. So, if you go to aim an enemy and he's here, your aim will go over there, which means you have to move the character to hit the enemy, which it just drives me crazy. If there was an auto lock, I don't think I'd even be past the area yet because I can't aim on my own. It's like I have to be a certain distance from them, which means I'm in danger and the dodging is slow. It's driving me crazy.
Frustrating. Yeah, we're reviewing that one. Someone else is reviewing it as well. I can't remember who.
I would like to have a chat with that reviewer.
I'll find out for you who it is. I can't remember. We've got so many outstanding that it's not in my head.
I'm not a fan of it, but I've talked to a few people who've said that it's meh, and I've talked to a few people who've said they've hated it, and then there's a few people out there who've given it 10 out of 10. I think for me, it's probably very middle ground. It's probably looking at like a 5 out of 10-ish, like average-ish, maybe a 4. But yeah,
my is reviewing it. Actually, one of
I shall send him a text.
Hey, okay, Lloyd, you get anything else to say? I've only been playing Spider-Man, so I'm not boring.
Yeah, I've mainly been Spider-Man. I have been playing one other thing. I've had 2 other things actually. One of them I don't think I can talk about because it's for review, but you guys know. And then the other thing is I've been playing the Destiny expansion, and I can hear you guys tuning out already.
No, I'm excited to hear about this.
So basically, I don't know if you know, Destiny 1 had this massive expansion after the first year, which basically fixed the game, made it what it should have been at launch. And I'm very, very pleased to say that the same has happened for Destiny 2 now. So it's a much better game. There's much more content there. I'll be honest with you, between that, Spider-Man, and this other game for review, I've not slept a lot recently. But it's been a busy weekend. But Destiny 2 is back, and it's on PlayStation Plus at the moment. So if you're enjoying that, then I can definitely recommend the Forsaken expansion, or I think you have to have the other two not so good expansions as well to be able to play it, which is kind of Bungie and Activision's way of doing things at the moment. But Forsaken is such a return to form. The campaign, the main campaign's okay, but the end game stuff is just, there's so much there to dig in and discover. And I mean, I've been playing I think I probably put about 15, 20 hours into Spider-Man so far, and I've probably put at least that into Destiny 2 Forsaken as well.
Really?
And honestly, they're sort of both pulling me in different directions. But really recommend the Forsaken expansion if you're looking to get back into Destiny, or if you've never tried Destiny, now might be a good time.
Okay, and the fact that it's free on PS Plus helps as well, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is just the base game, but if you like it, then at least you've not lost any money. If you don't like it, sort of thing, it's Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I don't know how much expansion is, but it's good that at least you get the first part free, which you'll need for the expansion, I presume. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's move on. Right, we're going to play Drop the Score, which is our last game we played last week. I've decided it's the PlayStation feature's called The Drop, and we're talking about score, so it's Drop the Score. That's how you get it. Okay, before we start, don't forget, this is just a fun game. Don't judge a book by its cover or a game by its title. It's just fun. We're going to give the games that are coming out next week a score for a little bit of fun. And so if you like fun, you like this.
Just say fun one more time, Joe.
Fun! Don't be offended, it's fun. Okay. Right. Okay, first game. Lloyd, you can start. Black Clover Quartet Knights. Let me give it a read. In this magic battle action game, take part in 4-on-4 team battles and cast an array of magic spells to defeat the opposing team. Use your rolls and spells to the best possible effect and cooperate with your teammates to win the battle. And it looks sort of anime to me.
Okay, I'm going to go for 65.
Right, 65. Okay, Boundless, Rebecca. In a boundless universe of connected worlds, you can open portals to travel seamlessly and expand your adventure across the universe. Forge your destiny and sculpt your world in this epic vortex sandbox MMO built on endless possibilities.
I know a bit about Boundless, and I think it looks amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know what the score is, though. And hopefully it's going to be something that does really well. I'm going to say 82 for that.
Quite high. It was quite nice.
I'm so optimistic. I don't know how to
It's got a nice description, put it that way.
It does look like a great game.
Claws of Fury. Claws of Fury is a beat-em-up style co-op action game where up to 4 players can take on the roles of vigilante ninja cats on a mission to rescue their master from evil claws of an unknown boss. I'm going to give this one a 5.5.
Out of 100? Or 5.5 out of 10?
5.5, 55, whatever we
Right, okay, so we're messing like the scoring system up.
Right, you're choosing different scoring system. Me, 55 then I'm going for, because it looks odd. Right, okay. Construction Simulator 2 US Console Edition. The mobile hit that bit gives it away there, doesn't it? The mobile hit Construction Simulator 2 is now available for your PS-Phwoar. Take a trip to the USA, complete road construction with purpose-built machines, and enjoy an even more varied day at work on the construction site.
I'm going to go for 70.
70
those
for a mobile port. Okay, then.
Yeah, but the simulator games seem to be very popular, don't they? So
farming simulator is popular, isn't it?
That is console edition, though. So maybe it's not been ported straight from mobile. Who knows? I don't know.
I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
That's quite a high score. We're being quite generous today. Let's see if Fossil Hunters stays generous. You're an adventuring fossil hunter who has travelled to a remote, mysterious dig site to discover the most incredible fossils the world have ever seen. Discover and assemble fossil creations as you avoid cave-ins, monsters and traps. And it looks quite cartoony as well.
I'll say 71 for that.
71?
Why are you laughing? I told you I was optimistic.
No, we seem to have been off a generous. We've been off a generous this week.
We obviously all got out the right side of the bed this morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Marble Jewel. Magic jewels are the way to solve any dispute in a kingdom conquered by the cruel witch and her minions. Master and improve the destructive power of the spheres, and you will become the most fearsome mage ever. It sort of has a decent-ish description, but the cover that I'm looking at, which is kind of reminds me of like a mobile game. It looks like the thumbnail of a mobile game.
Joe hates mobile games, doesn't he?
Yes, I do. I'm going to give this one a 60.
Okay.
Still think that's generous. NBA 2K19. NBA 2K celebrates 20 years of redefining what sporting games can be, from best-in-class graphics and gameplay to groundbreaking game modes and an immersive open-world neighborhood.
I think that's going to be a 90.
Yes.
I think the NBA games are always good. 2K18 was fantastic as well. So, I think that's going to be a good one.
Nefarious. Tired of playing the hero? Nefarious is a 2D action platformer where you get to be the villain. Step into the wily shoes of Crow, an evil genius on an epic quest to steal princesses from his royalty-powered world-conquering Death Ray.
Death Ray, I love it already. I'll say 55 for that.
55. Neon Wall. Oh, I'm getting all the good ones, aren't I? Escape your way out of Neon Wall by solving puzzles and overcoming a variety of challenging levels. Over the course of the game, you will need a combination of skill, concentration, and precision to be victorious. This is actually a PS-Phwoar game. I'm going to give it 50. 50.
50?
Yes. NHL 19. It's getting easy ones. Play on an outdoor ring and journey from the ponds to the pros in a new and returning modes. New gameplay tech delivers explosive edge skating with more acceleration, speed, and responsiveness.
That all sounds like EA Sports speak, doesn't it? I'm going to go for an 83.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, their hockey games are really good.
Really good. Rebecca, you already know the answer to this one.
Let's see if I can get
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Experience Lara Croft's defining moment as she becomes the Tomb Raider. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Lara must master a deadly jungle, overcome terrifying tombs, and persevere through her darkest hour.
I wonder if I can get it bang on what it was.
Do you remember what I said?
I think you said 77.
Yes.
Yeah, is that right?
I thought you did as well. Oh, yeah.
Yes, I did. Okay, Stay. When Quinn wakes up alone in a locked room with nothing of note save for a computer hooked up to an internet chat room in which you're present, you become his single ray of hope.
I think that sounds good. I would play that.
It looks very 2D pixelated sort of game. Yeah. Sort of really old style pixelated, but it sounds quite interesting. What score did you say, Lloyd?
It's your one.
Yeah, it's
yours. Oh. Good to get you to be positive then. I think that sounds interesting. I'm going to give it a 70.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds cool.
Super Street the game. Start from the bottom with nothing but scrap as you build your dream ride part by part and tear up the asphalt in a wealth of different modes and environments for automotive tuning culture.
I go for a 48.
Oh.
No expecting great things.
Remember, these aren't the scores we are given the game. This is the scores we are predicting the game will get on Metacritic as an average. So it's a fun wee game where we're trying to predict the scores. We're not saying this is what they'll be.
It is just a moment of levity because we all work. We all have various things going on, and we don't get to see every game that comes out every week.
Yeah.
So we try and review as many as we can, but there are chances where we don't know any of these games by name, and we could be pleasantly surprised. It is, as Joe said, we are just judging a book by its cover, which you should never do. But it's just it's just a bit of fun. Apologies if anyone's ever offended by this. We don't intend that. We just want to sort of break up the show with a bit of fun and just a bit of a guessing game. And I think we probably will start trying to track the scores at some point as well.
Yeah, we will.
I do. book by its cover. I don't judge a book by its cover. I judge a movie by its title, though. I mean, there's so many movies if you think about it. Netflix, cinema, whatever. Sometimes I'll look at a title of a movie and I'll think to myself, nah, I'm sure everybody does it. I mean, I do it all the time with movies. Definitely.
Genuinely, I think if we had 200 staff writers for SquareXO, we could still just about cover every game that comes out.
Yeah,
you know, it's that
you just do
kind
that
of thing,
with movies, though, because I do. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes, or whatever it's called, where they review the games, and half the time they'll give a movie I really like a 20 or something, and I'll go, what do you know? I think movie critics talk all the rubbish, but they don't. They're just, I guess they're just saying what they think, but I don't tend to agree with them very often. But I definitely do it with movies, because there's so many now. TV, I've got Netflix, Amazon, and you're just flicking through them all thinking, looking for something to watch, and when I see a title I don't like look at, I go, nah. I'll read a bit like this game, I'll read the title, read the description, and if I don't fancy it, that's it.
But yeah,
anyway.
Sometimes you just know it's not for you, don't you? And that's not to say it's not for someone else. Every bad game you've ever played is someone's favourite game. So, you know, exactly, just like every great game you play, someone else might think is not great. So,
okay, a couple
I know a lot of people bounce off Bloodborne, for example, but obviously Becky
doesn't bother me though. I actually like it when people tell me they don't like Bloodborne, because I like having a conversation with them about why. I love having.
That's the thing. It's a dialogue, isn't it? And I'd rather us keep that dialogue going with like a joke here and there, you know. But we'll see.
We've got a couple more then, now that the interlude's over. We'll do Lloyd and Rebecca, because I can't remember whose go it was. Trickster VR, co-op dungeon crawler. A procedurally generated fantasy adventure starring floating islands, epic loot, and a horde of orcs. Try your skill against orc combat expertise, ancient magic, and ragtag airships. What do you reckon?
That's a really good write-up.
PSVR.
That is a really good write-up. I'm going to give it 82 based on that.
We are reviewing that one, so we can find out what our reviewer thinks.
Yeah.
Rally. Enjoy an extreme off-road racing experience while becoming an expert in a demanding simulation. Take on the challenges of rallies, rallycross, drifts, buggies, and hill climbs, and set off on a spectacular journey across every continent.
Lots of racing games out there, isn't there? I'll say 65.
Okay, wait there, Rebecca, because we've already reviewed this game, so the embargo must be up. So let's have a look.
Well, I should 57. Know what the review score was. 57. That's not bad. That's not that far off.
59, sorry, is the average review score.
No,
what did you just say? 60?
I said 65.
65. Not bad
not
then.
Awful.
I don't know if the embargoes are up for any others. I know Tomb Raider and Vidal, but I don't know about any of theirs because, what do you call it? We've not really reviewed any of the others yet, so. I think NBA's might be up because I never asked for that one for review for some bizarre reason. I asked for the NHL.
Edition out of NBA now, or is it?
Yeah, I think.
No, the Ultimate one's tomorrow.
They usually do the early access version, don't they?
Yeah,
we're getting NHL for review, but I forgot to ask for the NBA, so I don't think we've got that one yet. But it's no scored yet anyway on here by the looks of things. Although the user score is 3.9 for some reason.
Oh.
But then user scores are weird, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think that probably alludes to some sort of microtransaction thing for NBA 2K. I know it was low last year because of the microtransaction thing, so there's always a chance it could be that rearing its head again. So
yeah, okay, well that's that. Then that's the wee game over. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It's quite a good way to read out the new releases instead of just doing a list in it. It's different. Okay, so yeah. What have we got left? Have we got anything left? We've kind of talked about what's out
all
and playing, and I can't even think. What we do? Have we missed a feature? No.
No, I don't think so.
We usually put what we're playing, but we did that after Spider-Man, didn't we? So
yeah,
we did that.
We're all good, I think. It's just questions, but we haven't had any this week. So
that's what it is. We never asked for questions. To be fair,
no, we're bad at that.
We are bad at that. If you've got any questions, then just send them to us whenever. You don't need to wait for us to ask. Just send them whenever, and we'll favourite them and we'll get them answered at some point. There was a really good question actually, because I asked a question, and then someone came back with something. I think it was what. Oh, that's something I meant to mention about Spider-Man, and I completely forgot. It's related to this question. The question was, what games from PS3 would you love to have had a photo mode?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And
was it just PS3 or was it?
I think they said, what games from PS3 would you like to have had the photo mode, or last generation would you like to have had the photo mode? But speaking of photo modes, isn't Spider-Man's incredible? I meant to mention that. Oh, it's so good. You've seen the amount of photos I've posted up from it.
SquareXO September, good. I think, is going to be almost 100% Spider-Man pictures.
And Spider-Man's a prize. That's funny. Oh, well, they can give it to someone else, can't they?
Yeah.
So it's fine. But yeah, any thoughts on that? I don't really have any thoughts, because I would say Darksiders, but obviously, actually, I can say Darksiders, even though it's been remastered for PS4, it still doesn't have a photo mode, I don't think. So yeah, Darksiders. We can all say one each, then, if anybody else can think of one.
I don't have a PS3 one. I wish Bloodborne had a photo mode, because my library would just be full of Bloodborne pictures. Because the minute you've got the... I am predictable.
But so am I, because I said Darksiders.
Yeah. Because Bloodborne, obviously, you've got the health bar, and then you've got your inventory, and you can't get rid of them. So when you take pictures, unless it's in a cutscene, they're always there. I've seen people take pictures and then slice the top and bottom off, but it would be nice if you could actually just make them disappear, take a picture.
Yeah, because in Spider-Man, obviously, they're always there, but when you do the photo mode, you can hide the UI. So it would be quite a good way to do it. Do you have one, Lloyd? You can think of?
Yeah, forgive my ignorance, because it might already have one, but Uncharted 2, it's my favourite game of all time. So to take some photos, and that would have been cool. There's some really good vistas, and there's like the train crash scene. You get some great sort of photos of that, I think. But yeah, so that'd probably be mine.
Here's a question. What game was it that kicked off this photo mode?
That's interesting. I think the first time I ever used photo mode, as I say, the first time I used photo mode, I think, was probably on Uncharted 4, but I'm imagining it was around before then, because that was 2016.
I think it was in Last of Us, which was PS3.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I know one of the better ones at the start of the PS4 generation was Infamous Second Son. That had a really good photo mode. But yeah, it's hard to say, actually.
Yeah,
I presume it's going to be a really pretty game, whichever one it is.
Yeah,
they want to show it off. But
Spider-Man, though.
Spider-Man is really good, isn't it?
Oh, it's so good. It's the best photo mode I've seen, I think, just because of the way they add the frames and stuff, make it like comics and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite clever the way they've done it. Okay, let's wrap up then. Don't forget to follow us at squarexo.co.uk, twitter.com/square_xo, and if you can back us on patreon.com/squarexo, then that will help us to bring you more content and awesome prizes like this month's #SQXO September, which is going to let you win a canvas of your winning picture, a copy of Spider-Man courtesy of monstershop.co.uk, and a Crash Bandicoot Hat courtesy of Numbskull as well. So thank you to our sponsors for that. Thank you to our Patreons who back us at the moment. It's really appreciated, and we love you. So thanks for that. Don't forget to visit the website for the latest reviews, because there's always loads on there. We've just got so many to come as well. Lots and lots, including our Spider-Man review, of course, and also a review for the one Lloyd's reviewing, Divinity. Is it Divinity 2?
Yeah, Divinity Original Sin 2.
Original Sin 2, that's it.
We got the code quite late, though, so I think it'll probably be by the end of the week.
Yes, and loads more as well. I can't even remember them. There's that many. So we'll have loads of stuff coming for you. Don't forget you can listen on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play on Google Podcasts. I never even knew we were on there. I got a new phone, I searched for us, and we were on there. So yeah, we're on Google Podcasts as well. So we're everywhere. And of course, we're on youtube.com/JohnsonWater, where you can watch us in video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, review, 5 stars everywhere you go. That will help people find us. It will bung us up the charts, which obviously can then let people find us, and more people like us, and we'll get more backers, and we'll get bigger, and we'll have more content, more competitions, blah 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 blah. The only way is up and all that. So yeah, so thanks everyone for listening. It's been a great show. We'll see you next time on episode 75. Thanks for now. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.